Welcome back to Clever Codecraft, and in this video we are going to see how can we create this beautiful scroll bar that represent the scroll percentage of our page on the top navigation bar. So I'm using ReactJS and Tailwind CSS for this. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have this basic React setup in my VS Code, and here this is app.js file. So I removed the code and there is just this h1 tag present here. Also I have already set up the Tailwind CSS, and if you want to know how can we set up Tailwind in our project, you can watch a video on my YouTube channel. It's already present there. So first I remove this h1 tag, and I'm going to firstly create the component that's required. First one is navigation, that navbar.js, and that content.js. Yeah, and I'm going to import this component in my app.js file. As you can see, the component code rendered. Now in my navbar.js file, I'm going to write the logic for my top navigation bar. So I'm going to remove everything, and I will create the basic skeleton of that navbar that gonna contain a nav section and div, and inside that we have navigation menu that is home, about, contact me, and other one is project. So these are going to the project menu. Apart from this, on the left side, if you noticed, we have 3 dot menu with different color. So I'm going to create this now. Is going to be div of width, some width and height. So say width of 6 and height of 4, and it is going to be the rounded, like border radius round. So all these are Tailwind class name. So if you want to know about more this, you can go to tailwindcss.com and can have a look what these classes mean there. So if I go to my browser, you can see how it looks. It look ugly. So let me quickly fix the navbar so that all these items are aligned side by side. I'm going to give the class name. So it would firstly background white and some padding, say 6, and navbar going to be sticky. So for it I'm going to give class name sticky with top 0, so that it will always stay on the top. And similarly for this outer div, I'm going to give class name. Let me do one thing. Let me copy paste the code so that you can easily get it what I want to say, and we don't waste time writing the CSS. So I copied and I am going to paste it here. Yeah, you can see we have this beautiful navbar already created with 3 dots, and on the right side we have 4 menu options. Now in content.js, I will do the same with content.js. So you can see this is a div with some height, width, and some background color. So here you can see I have copied the code from my demo project and paste the code here. You can see on the right side this looks better now. I'm going to create a custom hook. For that I will go to my component file and going to create this scroll reading.js. So it's going to be the React component. So I'm going to create a React component and will name it as scroll reading. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some event listener so that whenever I scroll, that I can get the position of my scroll bar. So for that I'm going to use effect, and inside use effect we have a scroll bar, sorry, we have an event listener named scroll, and whenever I scroll bar I am going to call some function. So let me name it as scroll update scroll reading. Yeah, this look fine, and I will define the function on the top. Let me define it under use effect so it will be better. Yeah, and on unmounting the React component I am going to remove that event listener. Yeah, everything looks fine till now. So now I'm going to define this function, like how this function looks like. Now I'm going to define a variable called scroll current progress, and this retrieve the current vertical scroll position of the window using the scroll y property. So window.scroll y, and after that I'm going to declare a variable scroll height. Now this scroll height, so it is going to store the total height of the document minus window's inner height, that is document.body.scroll height minus window.inner height. If scroll height is value is not 0, then we have some condition, and inside this condition what I am going to do, I am going to update this, my state. So let me go use like define a state on the top. So calculated height is equal to use state. Initially this value is 0, so that means we don't have any scroll bar. Now if now when if scroll height is not 0, so we are going to set scroll current progress divided by scroll height, and I'm going to convert it into the percentage. So what does this line mean? Suppose we have 10 works to do and I completed 5 out of them. So how we calculated the percentage of it? 5 by 10. So similarly we did here. So and now I'm going to ensure that value that is stored inside it is a number. So I'm going to cast this as a number. Everything looks fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to return the calculated height. Now we want that value in our navbar, right? So I'm going to use that custom hook here by declaring some variable and storing that value inside it. So scroll reading, yes, it is giving some error. React whose use state is called in function, that is neither a component. React hook name must start with the capital uppercase letter. Okay, so this is giving error. It should start with uppercase letter, but we have this as in lowercase, so I'm going to make it in uppercase. Yeah, everything works now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show the navigation, that scroll bar navigation. So for that I'm going to use span and giving it some class name, say height of some px and position of absolute with a background color of say yellow, and to position to be 0. So you can now you will say, what does absolute position mean? So by giving the absolute position to the span element, this allows the span element to be positioned relative to the nav container. So suppose if I give this top instead of the bottom, so now top bar, like it will get in the top relative to that navbar, right? So similarly this is the use of absolute position here. Again I will do the bottom 0, so it will come to the bottom in respect to the navbar element. Now we have to animate this, right? Like whenever we scroll, we want this to be like show us the position of the navbar. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a style of translate x, and whatever the calculated height is there, minus 100 and converted it to the percentage. So what I mean, transform translate x and the calculated height minus 100. So this expression basically subtract 100 from the value of the calculated height variable and appends a percentage sign, and this value is being transferred to the translate x property. This is not working. Let me quickly look into it, why this is not working. This should work. Yeah, after debugging I came to know that this should be, there is a typo here, it should be scroll y. Yeah, window.scroll y, so it should work now. As you can see, this is working properly. Let me get on to the bigger screen so that you can easily notice. Yeah, so this looks as expected. That's it for this video. If you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe this channel if you want to see similar video in the future.